page. This is Josh Henson coming to you guys, and I'm so excited because it is our fall segment. We are starting, and you guys, I'm like so pumped up. I'm like ready for this. Like, you guys do not understand. This is going to be the pilot of We Are Real Men Fall segment. So it's just kind of letting you guys know what's to come, what we're about to be doing, and also giving you a little sneak peek of today's word. I am in a place where God has been revealing a lot to me. God has been showing me a lot. He has been giving me a lot. He has been allowing me to actually discover what he has called me to do. There's been many confirmations from many people. And so when you just kind of get into that space of like, okay, God, this is what you have called me to do. Now I am allowing you to show me the steps. I'm allowing you to show me what things I have to remove, or the transition of entering and leaving out of one stage and entering into a new stage. That is the scariest part, because not everyone can come to the things that God has called you to. Not everyone understand it. So you may, even your demeanor may change, your posture may change. And that's one thing that we're going to get on, is position and posture in your transition. Position and posture in your transition. That is one of the key things that I've learned in this everyday walk. I've learned in understanding my assignment and my gifts and all that God has for me. Is understanding that position and that posture. And what's the difference between the two? What is the difference between your position and what's the difference between your posture? So y'all, listen, y'all, I am so excited because I have so much to give y'all. I have so much to give you guys, and I'm excited to give you guys this. And I'm grateful. You guys, I'm grateful. We Are Real Men. We're back. We are back. We're back, you guys. We're back. And I'm pumped up. But you guys, so this fall segment, I have advertised it. I have shared so much about it. I have talked to many people. There's going to be people who will be involved in this. New faces that you haven't seen on my channel. Old faces that you have seen. But this one is going to be big, and I'm excited for it. I am super excited for this. So in this time of transition, as you guys know, autumn is one of my favorite seasons. But when Christmas comes, it's like as if autumn did not exist. Because I am a Christmas person as well. So I have been in this time, you guys, of understanding the assignment that's over my life. And so I took a break. As you guys know, We Are Real Men normally take a summer break, about 2 months, just so that we're able to regroup, able to hear what God is saying. What do he want me to speak on? What do he wants to see? The growth in it. That's the biggest thing, the growth in it all. Of, okay, God, I heard you in this season, and now I feel you doing something else in this new season. And so what is it that you have me to do? So I took that time to regroup. I took that time to study. Listen, you guys, do not judge me, but I have been studying the book of Joshua. And one of those key things in that scripture, in that story that is mind-blowing, is the death of Moses and Joshua stepping into place. It's crazy how that part is so significant, because that speaks volumes on transitions, that there was one leader that was called to lead, and in his time of transition, God has called Joshua. And in that story, he continuously said, be strong and courageous. Have I not commanded you? I have assigned you to this. This is your purpose. This is your destiny. Align yourself with what God has for you. And so I had to go over my life. And I said, okay, God, you have transitioned me into the place of leadership over my life, leadership within this world, over younger men and people looking up to me. So what is all that I have to do to be aligned with this calling that you have put on my life? What is the transition? What are the steps? And I think sometimes as Christians, we overlook the step, and we're just so excited about the title and the calling that we don't really look at what is my position in this calling, and God, how is my posture supposed to be? And so we get big-headed off the bat. We get pumped up, we get excited, and it's a beautiful thing. But have you honestly sat down and said, God, okay, this is the time where I'm studying you. And the thing about transition that I've learned is transition does not mean it's effective immediately. Transition sometimes mean be still and know that he is God. He will order your steps. He will align the path for you. But sometimes you got to be still in order to know all that he has or what he's trying to do, and for you to be able to receive and for God to download you with the visions, with the goals, with the gifts. It takes time to do those things. And that's one thing I've learned, because I was addicted to being upfront. I was addicted to doing it right away instead of saying, okay, God, I'm sitting back. I've heard you. I have listened. I've learned. I've studied. But now I'm going to just stay still and allow you to set in place the things that you have. And so in transitioning, that's a lot of it. Is setting yourself in place and allowing God to work. You cannot work before God do it, because you're going to remove some steps that he has, because our flesh gets in the way. And honestly, we got to be honest. Naturally, we think we have it. We think we know what we're supposed to be doing. We think we know all of the steps, and there be those little pieces that God would have for us and say, hey, if you was to stop and be still, like my word says, you will be able to understand all of it, and not just the pieces that your natural mind understands. And so it's a lot of growth. It's a lot of growing. It's a lot of growing. It's a lot of growing to understand all of the transition, to understand, okay, God, this is what I'm doing. Okay, so, and with that, and the reason why we did this in fall, because autumn is the season of transitioning. Autumn is the season of stepping out of one season and entering into a new season that not only changes the weather, but your environment changes. The colors changes. You know, the mood, the spirit that is in the world changes. People get into this holiday spirit, get into this cheer. And so it also aligns within your walk. That also aligns within your walk, where you are now in a place where, okay, I am changing the way I talk. I'm changing my mindset, my heart. I'm changing the way that I worship. I'm becoming deeper in my prayer life. I'm studying a lot more. And so there's those little key pointers that not only help you in your transition, but it helps you in your walk. How can you walk with someone if you don't study who they are? And so I had took that time to actually study God's word, because growing up as a Christian, going to church as a child, you know, you get into the routine of it because it's a lifestyle. You get into the routine because you see mommy, daddy, grandma, auntie, cousins do it. And so you don't really understand the relationship because you're only doing what you have been taught. And a relationship is not taught. It's you have to, it's a personal connection. And so you have to honestly understand and discover the beauty of God so that you can understand your assignment. And with that, some people have to get removed. You guys know I'm a big person on knowing who is in place in your life. If they're called to be in your life, is they called to be attached to your connection, to your calling, to your assignment. And so within that, I had, and this, honestly, you guys, this was also yesterday too, I was in place of, for the people who you are connected to, and the people who you are called to, who is called to you as well, when you are in position, they become in position. God would never align you with someone who is not aligned with what he's doing in your life. And so you have to actually ask yourself and see over your life, is the people who I think is connected with me, are they in position with me for all that God has for me? Are they aligned with the visions that God has for me? And that's not saying they're supposed to be following you every step of the way, but if you are connected to me, you should already know that I'm in position. So if I am transitioning out of one thing and into another thing, I don't have to verbally tell you, because you're in position with me. And that's another thing. Our posture has to be corrected, because sometimes our posture, we may get into another environment and we lose the posture that we was in, where we were dwelling at with God. And so you have to tell yourself, am I changing my posture to please these people? Because if I am, then I know that connection is broken. So you have to look over your life and say, where is the connection within the people who I'm involved with, in my relationships, in my friendships, family? You have to honestly tell yourself, do you match my position? Is my posture changing around you in a positive way, or is it changing around you in a negative way? And so you have to fully take that time and see, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I thank you for being in my life in that part. I thank you for walking with me in that time, but it's time to transition. And you have to look at in every area of your life, even in your studying, even in your worshiping. Okay, God, I used to worship like this, but now I am not afraid to give you all in my worship. I used to pray like this, but God, now I'm going to intercede 10 times more. And so you have to truly, truly, truly identify all of those aspects in your life and see all that God has for you, so that he can give it to you, and for you to see all that he has for you, because there's so much that you're called to, but you got to make sure that every area is aligned to what he is doing in your life. You guys, I wanted to make this really short and brief. I wanted to be able to give you something, a sneak peek of it, is what is your posture? What is your position? What is the difference within your position and your posture? Your posture should be able to remain the same in the place that you have been at with God. So when you go into different environments, your posture does not shift, nor does it change because you're trying to please someone else, or because someone is jealous of your gift, or someone envies you, or whatever the case may be. You stay in that posture because that's what God has called you to. And in your position, you stay firm in your position in what you're doing, in your gift. If he called you to do this, you be firm in that position. You study that position. You discover more about that position. You look into the word and say, okay, who else was in this position so I can actually understand and fulfill every area of me speaking, every area of me connecting, every area of me actually understanding it all. And so be sure that your position does not shift, nor does your posture change, because those two things are effective in your walk with Christ. Those two things are key pointers. Allow your posture to remain the same. Just because someone else may not like it, or because someone else envy it, do not shift your posture and your position. Don't shift your position. You study that thing because he has called you to it. That is where you're supposed to be. I love you guys. I'm so excited. We have so much more to give you guys, and I can't wait to give it to you all. Love you guys, love you guys, love you guys. Be on the lookout for more fall segments for We Are Real Men. This was just a sneak peek that I just wanted to give to you guys. Have a blessed day.